Kick it! Metro, please! Metro, please! Hey! Hands off the knife!
All right, so what you just saw was the body cam footage of Officer Bookman from the Las Vegas Metropolitan Police Department. That body cam footage stops right before the officer fired a round, hitting Brandon Durham, who was the homeowner. Mr. Durham had called the police, alerting them to an individual with a red hoodie that had broken into his house, and he and his 15-year-old daughter were hiding in the closet. Right before the shooting occurred, the police yelled, "Drop the knife, drop the knife." And you see Mr. Durham engaged in a struggle with the intruder, Mrs. Alejandra Bordeaux, who had broken into his home. He was involved in the struggle, already alerting police what the intruder had on. Yet and still, the officer fired a round, striking the homeowner, Mr. Durham. And after striking him, he proceeded to unload 5 more rounds into him as he laid on the ground. Now, somebody tell me, how is it that you can call the police requesting help of an intruder in your home and end up the victim of 6 gunshots? There is no answer to that, right? Yet and still, the officer and the officer lawyer proclaimed that he had did nothing wrong. Now, once again, Brandon Durham is or was a 43-year-old realtor. He had a successful career as a realtor, and he was also a father. Now, the backstory to this situation, police received a call, evidently from Mr. Durham, that people were shooting outside of his home. And the police arrived, finding that, cars were broken into. There was some damage to some cars outside. And the door had been kicked in. And they go in and they go to the house. And the man is actually screaming for help, just as you saw on the video. And when they see the man and the woman, they unload on them. Now, other articles suggest that Mrs. Bordeaux and Mr. Durham had a previous sexual relationship. And it was also said that Miss Bordeaux came in the home, according to another article, saying that it was her intentions for the police to exterminate her after she invaded the home. That was her intentions. Yet she is the one who lives, and Mr. Durham, the victim, the one who called the police for their assistance, is no more. Now, lawyer Felipe Rodriguez, who is a professor at John Jay College, holds the sentiments of myself and probably many others. He's also a former detective sergeant. He said even if the officer just used 1 round to separate or to protect whoever was being assaulted, why did he also use 5 more rounds in rapid succession as Mr. Durham was laying on the ground? Once again, there is no excuse for that blatant overkill. Now, Miss Bordeaux was once again arrested for home invasion and 1 count of assault with a deadly weapon, performing an act of willful wanton disregard of safety, resulting in a person's demise, and 1 count of child abuse. Now, Miss Bordeaux was arrested, and she actually refused to go to court the day after, when she was scheduled for trial. Now, the officer, as normal protocol, has been placed on administrative paid leave, meaning he's going to get paid while the Department of Justice or whatever entity investigates this crime, as the family believes. So Durham family, including his daughter and other relatives, believes that the officer should be arrested immediately. Attorney Lee Merritt believes that a grand jury should return an indictment of homicide against the officer, either murder 1, murder 2, or a criminal indictment. And the daughter also expressed sentiments. She states that she is disgusted on how the police told my father, after killing him, to stay down. The daughter says that she is disgusted that she would have to live fatherless for the rest of her life. And this lawyer, another lawyer, David Roger, he's the attorney for the Las Vegas Police Department. He says that while Mr. Durham's death is tragic, Officer Bookman was doing his job and did not intend to commit a crime. How in the world are they going to say that he did not intend to commit a crime when his first shot clearly disabled Mr. Durham, who was once again not a suspect? He was defending his life, defending his property, defending his daughter. Yet and still, they said that the officer did nothing wrong. Now, this officer is 26 years old, been serving on the police force since 2021. And it's amazing to me how lawyers and police chiefs and police defenders will attempt to excuse this man's actions. First of all, if the man had called, and it should have been well known by any officers in the scene or responding to the scene of who the perpetrator and who the homeowner was. It was clearly, you can see from the picture that a person is wearing a red hoodie, the same red hoodie that was pronounced belonging or being worn by the intruder. And so now Mr. Durham's family is left to mourn their relative, as well as left to ponder many questions. His sister, Diane Wright, said, "Why did you shoot him instead of the person with the red hoodie and the ski mask?" His ex-wife said that he was an excellent father who prioritized family and never missed important milestones with his daughter. And so this is a family that has been destroyed. And the police are once again going through their normal protocol, saying that they are conducting a review of the incident to assess its policy, training, and tactics. Now, it's obvious that these people have been trained to shoot black people. There's no other way to put it. Someone gave me some knowledge or gave me some intel on when they train, they use the black body. They use the black silhouette. And so evidently there's some kind of subconscious trigger that makes them revert back to their training methods when they see a black person and automatically begin to shoot, to kill, regardless of whether that black person is the victim, whether that black person called them, whether that black person is armed, whether that black person is fleeing, whether that black person is unarmed. They have been trained to shoot. Now they're going with the narrative that, both individuals were holding the knife. So why did you shoot Mr. Durham, who was obviously almost naked in the picture? Shows him, clad in his, in nothing but underwear. So I want you to listen to this police conference from an individual representing the Las Vegas Police Department.
On November 12, 2024 at 12:40 a.m., LVMPD received a report of two subjects shooting into a residence located in the 6900 block of Wine River Drive. The person reporting the shooting was identified as Brandon Durham. Durham told the call taker that the subjects were attempting to enter his residence and that he was inside his residence with his 15-year-old daughter. While inside, officers continued to hear screaming and banging. They immediately directed their search towards an L-shaped hallway. As officers turned the corner in the hallway, they observed Durham and Alejandra entangled in a physical confrontation. They were at the threshold of a bedroom. Both individuals appear to be struggling over a knife in the doorway. Officers Bookman issued multiple commands to drop the knife, and then he discharged his firearm, striking Durham and causing him and Alejandra to fall to the ground. Officers took Alejandra into custody, and they attempted life-saving measures for Durham. Unfortunately, despite those efforts, Durham was pronounced deceased at scene.
Now, you see how conveniently he left out that the officer fired 5 more times. He immediately said that he struck Durham in separating the two, and then he attempted life-saving measures. Why would he skip the fact that the officer shot the man 5 more times? Why? Because he cannot explain that. You cannot explain that away, no matter how hard you try. And the coldness, the matter-of-factness in which this police captain read that report speaks volumes. Speaks volumes of the value of life of that 43-year-old black father who called the police to get help for his family, to protect his daughter, to protect himself, to protect his home. And now his daughter is left without a father. His partner, Miss Rachel Gore, is left without a partner. His stepson, Brandon, is left without a father figure. His family is left to collect money from a GoFundMe to cover memorial expenses, counseling, and emotional support. There's a few questions, and I'm sure no one can answer them. But why was Durham treated as the suspect, despite him informing the police that the intruder in his home had a red hoodie? Why did police feel the need to shoot 5 times after the man was down? Why weren't other de-escalation tactics employed? Now, how do you think the critical incident review team is going to rule? Where's the transparency and justice into these police perform investigations? So what do we do as a community when these things continue to happen? We should demand an independent review of the incident, separate from police investigations. And also this has been done a lot of times before. But we should push for reforms in public police situations, high-risk calls, emphasizing de-escalation. And we already have the body cam footage, so we don't need to release that. But there needs to be better community support for legislation to oversee these police actions. Mr. Durham's story is a heartbreaking example of the devastating consequences of police errors. His death will leave a great void for his family and the community. And so, I implore you to share this video to bring awareness to another police shooting that has claimed the life of an innocent man in his home, relying on police to protect his family, but instead they take his life. This is just one video that provides an example of the inconsistencies involving justice. When police officers are able to go above and beyond their duty, almost criminal-like actions, taking a life, but yet and still they are protected by laws, by investigations, by political action committees, by qualified immunity, as they put it. I hope this video will serve as a tool for advocacy and reform as we continue to expose these instances of injustice. Ephesians 5:11, take no part in the works of darkness, rather expose them, because it is a shame to even speak of the things that they do in secret. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.
From local stories to Wayne County news, get ready to dive into everything happening in North Carolina with Taylor House Publishing. Got a story to share? Shoot us an email at taylorpublishinghouse@gmail.com. If you're looking to publish your book or need some top-notch mentorship, we've got your back. Join the excitement with the one and only Richard Taylor, right here at Taylor House Publishing. Speak with Richard directly at 919-587-7782. Don't forget to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and invite your family and friends to watch.
From Wayne County to the Carolina coast, Taylor House brings the news you love most. Tune in on YouTube, don't miss a beat. Local stories that keep you in your feet.
Taylor House, we got the scoop. Taylor House Publishing.